So we're going to be talking about differentiability and continuity. We have talked about continuity before, and basically with continuity that just means that the function is connected. There aren't any holes, there are not any asymptotes or strange things going on within the graph. With differentiability, that means that there's a derivative everywhere. We're going to be dealing with some piecewise functions, and what we're trying to figure out is if there's a derivative everywhere and if it's continuous. Now, some things you need to know: if it is continuous, it might be differentiable. The reason it's not, it is for sure differentiable is because of a problem like that. That is continuous, but it's not differentiable everywhere because there's not a derivative at that sharp point. If it is differentiable, that implies that it is continuous, because every differentiable function I can draw where there's no holes, no asymptotes, no sharp points, all of those functions are continuous. So this is always true, but this is not always true. It might be true. So when we're looking at piecewise functions, we start off by figuring out, is the function continuous? If it is, then we go on to the differentiable part. If it's not, then we don't even have to go to the differentiable part. So you always start to figure out if the function is continuous or not. So here's our first example. And if you remember from when we did this before, to figure out if it was continuous, you start by plugging in a 1 in both places. So if I plug in a 1 in the top, I get 1 squared plus 1, which is 2. If I plug in a 1 in the bottom, I also get 2. It is continuous. That's the first thing to check. And you know it's continuous because the limit as you approach 1 is equal to 2. Then you check and see if it's differentiable. So what you do is you find the derivative of each piece. So the derivative of each piece is 2x and 2. You still have to use your 1 from up here. So you plug in 1 into both things. I get 2 and 2. Because these two numbers are the same, that implies that it is differentiable because the derivative at 1 is 2. If these two numbers would be different, then it would be not differentiable because the slope is not approaching the same value. And what that means is if I try to connect these two pieces, then I'm going to connect them in a way that the slope connects smoothly and it doesn't connect in a sharp point. If those two numbers were different, that means that it would connect in a sharp point, making it not differentiable. Alright, so on this one, again, start off of it with the continuous part, plug in 1 into both pieces. Alright, we know it's continuous. Check. Make sure you check it, okay? There are times that it's not. Alright, so now let's check the differentiable part. And let's figure out what the actual derivative is. So just find the derivative of each piece. Alright, the top function has a derivative of -2. There's not a place to plug in 1, you just get -2. And the bottom function, the derivative is 1. They are not the same, so it is not differentiable, since the derivatives are not the same. If the question says, why is it not differentiable, then you would just say the derivatives are not approaching the same value as x approaches 1. Alright, again, start with the continuous part, plug in 1 in the top and the bottom. You do get 0 for both, so we know, check, it is continuous. So now let's look at the differentiable part. We need to find the derivative. The derivative of the top is 1. The derivative of the bottom, you can multiply it out and find it, or we could just find the chain rule derivative, so 2 times x minus 1. Alright, we're plugging in a 1, so on top you get 1. On the bottom you get 0. So it is not differentiable. Now sometimes we have a function like this where you have to figure out a and b or c or whatever the letters are. The problem tells me that this graph or this function is continuous and differentiable, and because it is, now I want to figure out what a and b is. So we start kind of the same way. We plug in 2 into both equations. Alright, 2 in the top one would be 2 squared plus 2 times 2 plus 4. Plug in 2 in the bottom one and set it equal to a plus b. Alright, so we have 4 plus 4 plus 4, which is 12. Notice this doesn't help me solve the problem because I have an equation now with a's and b's in it. So then I go to the differentiable part. Find the derivative of top and bottom, so 2x plus 2. Set it equal to the bottom because if it is differentiable, then it should be the same. Plug in your 2 for x like you did at the beginning. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6. That's wonderful. That helps us because now we know a is 6. So then we can go back to this equation over here, plug in our 6 for a, and we can solve. 12 equals 12 plus b. That means b has to be 0. So when you're trying to find the a's and the b's and the c's or whatever letters there are, you do have to start with the continuous part to get one equation, then go to the differentiable part, get another equation, and use the two equations to help you solve. Alright, so on this one, similar problem. We know it's continuous and differentiable. We're trying to solve for a and for b. So plug in 1 for x. So you'd have 1 minus b times 1. Set that equal to plugging in a 1 for x again, a times 1 plus 1. Alright, if I just simplify this just a little bit, I might subtract 1 on both sides. I get negative b equals a. That's just a simpler equation. Alright, now do the derivative. We would have the derivative of each would be 2x minus b. The derivative of the bottom would be 2ax. Plug in your 1 for x. It won't always be 1, it just happens to be on these two problems. Alright, so now I have another equation with a's and b's in it. And easiest way usually is just using substitution. Know that a is negative b. So I can come down here and plug in negative b for a. Add b on both sides. So when I add b, I get negative b, so b is 2. And if I know b is 2, I can plug it in there, and that means a is negative 2.